Hello, everybody. Welcome to Hashtag Shout, the weekly debate / discussion show. Will you two stop fighting over the sword? It belongs to Adam. Leave it alone.
What was that?
I said, Geek, will you stop fucking fighting Adam with the sword? It's Adam, get over it. Just paraphrasing that. Anyway, we're now recording Hashtag Shout.
One more time for Big Fudge.
What? Was it about fudge? Okay, as I was saying, welcome to Hashtag Shout, the weekly debate / discussion show where we discuss everything and anything.
Sword. Give me the sword. Give me the sword.
What is this, like budget Game of Thrones? They're literally fighting over a one sword. They're fighting over one sword, for fuck's sake. Anyway, I am the boss, Steve Jones 313, alongside the Low Walker 1, Funk, and of course, the Geek King.
He's breaking my wrist and making me punch myself. Ow!
Now, you two can actually come of professionalism!
We started.
What? How did I start it?
We picked the sword up.
Now that we have restored,
I took that as a threat.
now that we've restored some order to proceedings,
Boobs! My hand and my head both hurt.
unfortunately, there are no boobs here. So,
Well, there's two right in front of me.
you're looking down
What
again.
did you just do?
I tapped her on the head with a sword for insulting me.
Really?
Yes.
Stop it.
Want to play this game?
Let's hug it out.
Okay.
Let's hug it out.
Okay. He's attacking me.
You know what? The quicker we get through the show, the quicker I can make you guys burgers.
Ooh, brothers.
We have burgers?
We have burgers tonight.
Oh, my legs! Oh, my legs! I'll never walk again!
Alright, Brad. He's attacking me.
Oh, God, but Rooster Teeth, call me. Take me away.
I'm a carrier bag.
I don't care, just give me a job, Rooster Teeth. Take me away.
Oh, God. Nope.
Anyway.
This is why we can't be on camera during the show.
Because you keep trying to rape me.
Because I keep trying to hug you.
Anyway.
That's
So.
the same thing.
Right, because I go now.
So.
Me chest.
He has to do tweet of the week! He called it! You heard
Our
it!
first tweet comes from...
No! I didn't announce it! I just said the name. Geek announces it.
Geek, you drop these.
That's what you just
So, Geek, what time's it?
Just get up this time.
Or any other brand of sweetie.
You're going to make me do it. And then you're going to get pissy that I did it. You're like, oh, well, you're doing it now.
You shouted at me.
Tweet of the week!
Our
Bad imitation.
This is imitation.
Our first treat this
What, I don't
week.
do this bit now?
Our first treat this week.
Honestly, I don't do
Our first treat this week.
That is my show.
Our first treat this week.
You did what you could do it. You're sitting there being all fucking poncy and thinking like, oh my god,
Hey,
you show
I have many things in the world. Poncy is not one of them.
This is my time to show.
You don't need to stand
When
in front
the
of me.
rumba rhythm starts to play. Okay, let's hug it out.
You just need me in the balls.
I know.
You just need me in the balls.
That's why we're
Thank you.
That's why
Thank you, you dick bag.
And now he's on his knees in front of you.
Well,
You bag of
That's why we're hugging
dicks.
it out. That's why we're hugging it out.
Get to the tweets. You fucking useless wasted sperm. Get on with the tweets. Go to the...
Yeah, our first tweet this week comes from @JossActual.
Look with him!
It is a response from @Nathan Finland, Lays and Weed Nights. Joss Weed is now on Twitter. Follow, tell him I sent you. His reply was simply, I knew you were having me followed.
Nice.
Our next tweet comes from @ROHDelirious!
Blah, blah, blah.
Exclamation mark. And our last tweet this week comes from @HeelZiggler. I wish the Funky Doctors would notice me. Hey, I used to be a cheerleader too. #raw.
Spirit Squad.
And those were my tweets of the week.
Fucking loony bins. Anyway.
I would never send you to the loony bin.
In some news, a council boss has been suspended over allegations that she bit the backside of her only male colleague in an otherwise all-woman department. The bizarre incident is believed to be the culmination of a series of office pranks which spectacularly backfired.
Well, I'm sure they did.
Biting someone's ass is not a prank.
Sexy.
The man in his early 20s bled through his underwear and was later taken to the hospital for a tetanus jab as a precaution.
Who taught you how to love bite, Dracula?
Neath Port Talbot County Borough Council in South Wales. Jesus Christ, that's a mouthful.
Bah.
I'm sure his ass was too.
Bah.
Is now carrying out an internal investigation into the incident.
They said. Bah.
The authority has suspended the department manager, who has not been named but is in her 40s pending the outcome. I love the way that they've written that sentence. It sounds as if she's in her 40s, depending on what happens. Junior female work colleagues who witnessed the alleged attack are due to be interviewed.
They said, bah, 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 bah.
The matter first came to light when staff members reported this into their union, Unison.
I've got Unison for what?
Yeah, Mark Fisher, Unison's branch chairman, said he was made aware of the allegation last week through members working in the department. He said that the man is a Unison member who he understood had been taken to the hospital for a precautionary tetanus jab. He said, "It is a very unusual situation."
Bah.
And hence that is why we acted as a trade union. We asked for the... I'm sorry, I can stop you there. Oh, this is an unusual situation.
It's been translated.
You don't need to say that. It's like, your female boss bit you in the fucking ass. Yeah. The fact that it's unusual goes without fucking saying.
Do you reckon it wasn't actually a prank? He was asked to do a job he didn't want to do, and he said, "Bite me." Either that, or she is a perv. One of the two.
She's probably a perv.
Maybe she was a perv.
I like how the manipulative word to translate that.
Sorry?
Well, he didn't say that. He said, bah, bah.
Yes,
bah.
he's Welsh. They shag sheep. Ha.
What do you call a sheep tag a lamppost in Wales?
A leisure centre.
There you are.
What was a bachelor?
I'm very, very sorry, Helen, for taking the piss out of the Welsh. Giving that your boyfriend, who I happen to, have a lot of respect for, is Welsh.
Oh, I respect him a hell of a deal. That's why I'm insulting him. Yes?
Who's Helen?
It's the girl you know, a sex one lady.
Oh, and her boyfriend's Welsh.
Yes.
Don't worry, he doesn't cheat on you every night. It's just when he comes back smelling of lamb.
I'm going to quickly leave the room.
I wish I could. But if I,
Actually, mint is probably more.
In entertainment news,
Kevin Smith!
Kevin Smith has said that he won't use Kickstarter to get his long gestating Clerks 3 project off the ground. The filmmaker who's
recently... He said this ages ago.
What?
He said this ages ago.
Well, the filmmaker who recently completed his first draft of the movie's 137-page screenplay took to Reddit recently to explain why he changed his original stance on crowdsourcing funds for the movie.
Because he doesn't have it. He hasn't got the legal rights yet.
We nearly kickstarted the budget back in November, but now I feel like that's not a fair deal to real indie filmmakers who need the help. Unlike back when I made Clerks in 91, I've got access to money now, so I should use that money and not suck any loot out of the crowdfunding marketplace that might otherwise go to some first-timer who can really use it. Yes. Smith will instead fund the movie himself, explain that the crowdfunding model should be left to the next generation of artists.
One of a kind?
In other news, Damon Lindelof gives his take on the Justice League problem. The Star Trek and Prometheus writer offers his advice on how to get the Justice League movie off the ground. Quite a long article here.
This is your nightmare fuel, by the way.
He's had a lot to say. I'll post a link in the comments, but he gives his opinions on how you could do the Justice League movie.
What's his?
What?
What's his main comment?
I haven't read the entire article.
Oh, right.
Can that be a kid?
But he said, in the spirit, I will try to read just a couple of lines. In the spirit of not throwing stones from the glass house in which one resides, the same should be said of Star Trek says, the limitation between PG and PG-13, particularly as it pertains to violence. There's no sex in Star Trek, there are a couple of S words, but only because we already knew we were going to get PG-13. They are easily accessible. I always love the amount in the Temple of Doom when Indy says, shit, because that's exactly what he would say. So basically his point is, you don't have to be gratuitous about it. It's how you handle the rating and all that jazz as well. So I'll put a link of that in the description. Right. Now, before I go on to something I want to... Before I go... Will you stop it?
I'm doing nothing! He's punching the cat on my wrist!
The cat.
It's a fake cat! It's merely ink upon the arm!
Maybe it's...
Are we not all merely ink upon the arm of the universe?
Right, before I get on to what I want to bitch about, well, out of the many things I want to bitch about, but the things I want to bitch about and will bitch about, Adam, you had something you wanted to talk about this week.
Indeed I did. Ow! Indeed I did. Now, being a college student as I am, I have to be around, tying up kids, getting the bus to and fro college. Now here's the thing. Fro, yeah.
To and from.
I know to and fro is a phrase as well.
You can't say to and fro, then name a place.
I'm going to and fro and naming a place because I'm making it up as I go along. The point is that while I was there, I noticed that on the bus there was an advertisement for a new film based on a book called The Host.
It's not a new film, it's been out for a while now.
Well, let me get on it, right? Now, of course, I was instantly biased because it was a Stephanie Meyer thing, and I...
If it's a bias, that proves true.
Yeah, I think she is the writing equivalent of Satan. But
I think she's the right equivalent of shit.
yeah, the point is, she's the writing equivalent of PG-13. The point is...
If you did that.
I tied it all in.
We are rated R.
You can't do it in PG film. But the point is that I kind of noticed a few striking similarities in the fact that the poster for the host, the poster for the hoster was a rather palish looking girl with strange eyes in front of a rather pale man who was looking quite brooding and evil.
Yeah.
And another man with kind of more fuzzy-ish, shortish hair who was brooding and looking quite evil.
Right.
And I sat there and it had the writing and it said, choose to believe, choose to fight, choose to love. And I sat there and went, so it's the sequel to Twilight, right? And I asked around and I went, no, it's a completely new thing.
Yeah.
I went, you're having a laugh, that's not complete. I've
seen the trailer and I can confirm it is a really shitty version of an alternative universe Twilight.
Yeah, I sat there, I went to a friend of mine who'd read the book, and I said, do you mind if I borrow it just to read a couple of chapters? I went, no problem. I read it. It is basically Twilight.
With aliens.
Now here is the thing.
Instead of vampires, it's aliens. To give a brief synopsis before you go into rant mode, right?
Yeah.
From the trailer, at least, this is what I got from it, was a couple fall in love. Nothing wrong with that so far,
When a man loves a woman, he gets depressed.
Well, yeah, you do, and
Continue.
a lot of people do, but I don't. So they fall in love, and they're going to live happy, but also on this earth, they're one of the few survivors of an alien being, because it's not really an alien, like, fucking Simulite. It's actually a being, they take over your fucking body.
Right.
Body snatchers-esque.
Right.
And they form a fucking army and shit like this. They get into a crash, the couple. He survives and gets found, He gets found by all the fucking survivors, the fucking revolutionary Britain, the revolutionary force in the sports entertainment.
Yes. For over 50 years.
Yes. She gets took back to them.
Yeah.
And they wake her up as now a host, but her other side is trying to fight it.
Yeah.
And they go back to the fucking... She finds her lover.
Yeah.
Which means that they now know where they are, and it leads into some great battle. And I sat there afterwards, because that's where I shut off. I was like, yeah, great, okay, that's shit. And turned around, and I went to my girlfriend at the time, because this came out round about, I think March time it came out, February, March. And I turned around and went, well, I'm not watching that shit.
Now,
And even she, who was a fan of Twilight, turned around and went, me either.
Now, here is the thing. I understand that as a writer writes more and more novels and more stories, repetition occurs.
Harry Potter. Every single time in Harry Potter, you know what's going to happen. Harry's a wizard, Hagrid's going to say something stupid, Dumbledore's wise, some fucker's going to die, and Emma Watson is going to look hot from about the 13th film, third film onwards.
In Game of Thrones, you're aware that your favourite character is going to die.
Shut up!
Are we? in Harry Potter, you're aware that someone is going to die in Harry will be called the Dark, or sorry, he'll be called the Chosen One, and then
the Dark Lord.
Then you'll have an argument with someone. But here's like
Bellatrix Lestrange will say the Dark Lord.
there is a difference, however.
Captain Jack will walk around like this.
There is a difference, however, between repetition of certain elements and the exact same book. What you did, my dear, was you went onto the WordPad you originally used to make Twilight. You went to the find and change part. You typed
Control F.
Yeah, you selected vampire and then put in the next box aliens.
Replace all.
Yes, and that's what
Microsoft Word has made 157.
Have you ever done that with like a really normal piece of history work?
Yes.
I did. I changed a friend of mine. I'll let you back in a minute. Just to break up the evil. That's all. With some laughs. That's what I'm about. You know that.
Yeah.
You're evil.
Well, that moves.
Sorry. And
when a man loves a woman.
That has to be one of the shittest songs ever written.
Oh, wonderful. But yes, as I was saying about this god-awful film.
No, because...
I'm alright, continue.
I think my problem stems not just from the fact that she is a terrible writer and the fact that she copies her stories and basically transplant the other ones, but also just her writing style itself is terrible. I mean, if you think about the characters that she has, you have Bella. Bella is possibly the single worst female character I have ever seen in any film or book.
I'd agree with that.
And I'm including
female.
I'm including 1920s PSAs.
Well, female character.
Yeah.
I get that. Yeah.
Here's firstly, she is manipulative. Mm-hmm. Secondly, she's a complete Mary Sue and not even a good one at that. Thirdly, she is your typical teenage girl who basically says, I don't need a boyfriend. Wow.
But that's the point. That's the thing that people... It's like, Stephanie Meyer knows what she's doing. She does. She can't write for shit, but she knows who to write for. She's writing for the fucking teenage girl demographic. You know, the ones that, you know, who are ripe for being influenced by bad role models.
This is a quote that I found. It explains the Twilight to me. Harry Potter is all about confronting fears, finding inner strength, and doing what is right in the face of adversity. Mm-hmm. Adversity. Twilight is about how important it is to have a boyfriend. Mm-hmm. My books, on the other hand, are about mind-fucking the shit out of your brain and then leaving it dead on the side of the road.
King?
Stephen King.
Yeah. Not a fan of his books, though, I have to admit, but I like his philosophy.
Never really read them.
But yeah, I mean, Twilight is targeted at those lasses who want to find everything that is wrong with the world. What's wrong with their life is the world's fault.
The quote-unquote forever alone girls who are 14-year-old.
Yeah. You know, but...
Give me a
forever alone. You know, all the time Bella's like, I talk about how her life is meaningless or just... And what happens? She gets what she wants. And she, because of all her actions, and because of her greed, countless die.
Yeah.
A war is forged, and people praise this as a good thing. If my lass were like, would you start a war so I could, like, I don't know, be a vampire? I'd be like, no. Get a hobby.
Yeah, I think it's
take up chess.
When you look at it this way, every single character in this story is a bad role for one reason or another. You have...
If we're still on Bella, there's a perfect meme for her in there. There's the Hermione, Bella, and Leia one.
Yeah.
The one that goes, I've got it here. When the love of Hermione's life left her, she continued to search for the keys to destroy the world's most powerful dark wizard. Mm-hmm. When the love of Bella's life left her, she curled up in the fetal position, went numb for months, then jumped off a cliff.
Yay!
When the love of Leia's life was encased in carbonite by Boba Fett and Darth Vader, and taking the Jabba the Hutt princess, she disguised herself as a bounty hunter and rescued him.
Yep. You have to remember. Let's take a look at that.
I'd rather not.
It's okay, Geek. I know what you're about to say.
I still hit that.
So you hit Kristen Stewart.
No. I would hit Bella. Then I'd hit Kristen Stewart.
we must look at that firstly.
Because she actually smiled at me.
She actually tries to. Her character in the story is basically teaching young girls whine about everything. You will get what you want. It is okay to manipulate. It is okay to basically threaten suicide to get what you
it's
want.
not about teaching girls that's okay. It's about justifying the preconceptions that they already have.
Also, by the way, it's factually wrong.
Yeah, of course. It's about vampires.
No, let's say vampires exist.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, we're getting into that sort of debate now. Let's say vampires exist, right? What is one of the things about vampires?
Can't be out in the daylight.
No, let's ignore the
I
sparkle.
will get to that later.
Let's ignore the sparkle for now.
That's a different episode.
Their blood
Yes.
is no longer flowing through their veins.
Yes.
They have sex and he gives her a kid.
Yeah.
Explain how an erection works while blood that flows. Please.
He went to see his doctor.
I can't help but be reminded of it was either Woody Harrelson. It was either Woody Harrelson or was Matthew McConaughey. I'm thinking it was Woody. It was a movie which was essentially Truman Show, but when they were aware of it. It starred
NTV.
Yes, it starred Ellen DeGeneres.
McConaughey.
It was Matthew McConaughey.
Yeah, McConaughey.
I'll
do a check.
This might be a great opportunity for me to take my shirt off.
That's what he fucking does in his career anyway.
But
It's definitely McConaughey then.
I just remember the line, "There you go, you got your sniffy."
And then,
Both of them are in it.
Oh, well, there you go.
then check with the fact that basically she treats her father like crap, her mother like crap.
Her dad seems like, from what I'm getting on Tumblr,
Yeah.
is the best character in the whole thing.
He is, because basically...
He wants to kill the vampires.
Yeah.
He wants to kill the dogs.
Yeah.
Because they're not werewolves, they're dogs.
Yeah. It's at least the first time ever trusted to his house, the first thing he does is grab a shotgun and go, bring him in. But yeah, and not to mention that treats her friends like crap, and is basically the single worst human being I've ever known in any form of fiction.
Oh, I didn't know that. What was stars? Jennifer Elfman.
Moving on to, I'm going to go moving on to
Give me a clue.
Wolf Boy. Wolf Boy.
Jacob.
Jacob, right.
You're not a werewolf for starters.
I feel for Jacob because I don't think he was meant to be in this story. I think he got trapped there by Stephanie. See, the thing is, he doesn't see like when Robert's character and Christian's character are off doing gallivanting and being all like, "Oh, you sparkle." I know it's total plot device, but go with it. While they're off doing that, Jacob's sitting there going, well, "What the hell am I doing here?" It's just utterly retarded because it seems that his entire job in this story is basically to be like, you do realise that's a bad call, right? Yeah, okay. Now, I fell for him up until the final bit, and then
Have you watched these?
Sadly, yes, I got made to.
Oh?
No, I didn't see the last one.
Oh, so you don't know? Do you know what the most fucked up thing about the Wolf Boy is?
Yeah, that's what I'm getting onto. Let us just imagine. Let's just go with this one.
Pedophilia.
I was a fan of his until the last moment where he basically reveals himself to be a paedophile.
You think, what sort of device is it? I am tied to her for life because I knew she was having a child and therefore I will have sex with that child one day.
Yeah, there's those I believe in pre-arranged marriages going, that is taking it far.
But now we get on to the big one. Now we get on to Mr. Sparkles himself.
Edward!
The vampire who belongs in My Little Pony. Mr. Edward Cullen.
Oh, don't you? Let's not get you started with your favourite one. My Little Pony. He was naming them.
Oh,
he
yeah.
was naming them in Forbidden Planet.
I would like to point out in Forbidden Planet. But I was walking along and I was looking at a V for Vendetta mask, which was right next to the MLP section.
And there was a group of people over there.
And there was a group of people, so basically what Keith did was, as I was leaving, he pointed at the mask. They went, no. Pointed at the next bit and went, oh, is that what you're looking at? Because I just see him pointing at the mask and I'm like, yeah, that was it. And he goes, what, the MLP section? Adam, geek. Shut up.
Yo, fuck, I'll buy you one if you want.
Shut up, geek. I should have made you buy one and just given it away.
I wouldn't do it.
But yeah, I don't know. Now here is the thing. And certainly I don't like MLP. I think it's one of the worst shows I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, you'll watch Adventure Time.
Yeah, because Adventure Time was at least some form of fun. But the point is, firstly, you are the betrayal of your entire clan of vampires. In fact, I'm not sure you are a vampire. I think what you're basically is a schizophrenic person who got rolled around on the floor in arts and crafts.
Also, isn't he like 130 years old?
Yes.
Like, Wolverine's sitting there going, that's some age gap.
Yeah. We must also question about that. Yeah, he appears as a teenage boy, but in reality, he is. I think he's from the Edwardian area.
Look at Edwardian.
Yeah. So.
Wow, she really stretches that picture.
Yeah. So we must.
How old is he? Edwardian period. What's his name? Edward?
Yeah. Hell, this film would have been better had it actually been directed by Ed Wood.
Nice one.
Thank you very much. For anyone who doesn't know who Ed Wood is, you're lucky. The point is,
director in the world.
the point is,
Oh wait.
he is firstly a stalker. He is secondly a paedophile. He is thirdly.
Technically not.
He's well. I mean, when you
She
think
hits 18.
still, it's still something not right. Other than that, maybe it's still not up. Like,
Not pedophile, isn't it?
Okay. He is grossly perverted.
There
Let's
you
go
go.
with that.
Yeah, that's that.
For example, I apologize for using you as an example here, but
You
let us assume
motherfucker.
that I come to you
Uh-huh.
and I say, so this is chick I like, right?
Uh-huh.
And I appeared at her room and said I was watching you sleeping. What would you do?
Slap you.
Yes. However, when Mr. Sparkles does it, what happens is they fall in love. No.
Yeah, ultimately he's a stalker.
Yeah, he is basically a 100-year-old stalker.
He's everything that's bad. You know, it's everything that they tell you not to do.
Yeah.
When you're at school, what's one of the first things they tell you not to do? Don't hide behind people and watch them.
Yeah.
You know, everything your mum warns you about, like, as a kid.
Yeah.
This guy does.
Yeah.
And she falls in love with the weirdo.
And it's just the thing is like
Man, I wish I could fly around like a fucking sparkly prick.
the annoying thing is I actually do sort of think he was destined to be in My Little Pony. Let's look at it this way. 1, he's sparkly. 2, he flies around everywhere. 3, he is camper than a tent. 4, he is a bit of a weird stalker type. I'm guessing.
A bit.
And also the fact that, I'm a vampire who can go out in the daylight and doesn't need to drink blood. Then you're not a vampire, are you?
Also, he's 100-odd-year-old, right? He goes to fucking high school.
Yeah. Can we just question for a moment why she had to take the vampire culture and turn it into this? Because here's the thing, I bet you it would have been a better story and it would have been more dramatic had she fallen in love with an actual vampire. You know, run around at night drinking the blood. It would have been a better story simply because it's more of a problem.
You know what you're talking about?
What?
True blood.
God damn you. You glorious man. The point is,
You do it, just talk. What your solution is true blood.
yeah. What's True Blood? That's my message to you. I don't watch True Blood, but watch True Blood.
I would definitely recommend that you watch True Blood.
Here's my suggestion. If you want to know, the point is, right, if you want to know what I think you should do, don't go watch The Host. Watch all the series of Supernatural 1 to 7 because, by God, it's fun.
I'm 2 episodes in and I can agree with that.
Yep. So,
or Breaking Bad, or Weeds, or...
Tune in next Thursday for my discernment of This Is What Makes Me Hate Humanity. Geek, Stephen, over to you while I go and vent off some steam in this pillow.
Boss has made a drawing.
Boss has been doodling.
This is Vegeta from Dragon Ball Z.
The boss didn't care. Boss, you got some shit to talk about?
Oh! Annoyance, thy name is Babblr. You see, a lot of you may have actually heard by now of a service called Babblr, and if you haven't, allow me to explain. Babblr was advertised as being the first ever, instant messaging service for Tumblr, which in theory sounds great, But one of the things Tumblr doesn't have, and it doesn't need, but could do with.
It could do with that. What does it mean? It doesn't need.
It doesn't need it. Simple as.
I'm sorry, but there's plenty of people on Tumblr that have to do with instant messaging.
Yeah, doesn't need it, but could do with it. Separate things, It could survive without it.
Yeah, asks take too long though.
This is true, but it's a messaging service. Now, last week Tuesday, it was set to go live, and it didn't, because what happened was they went live, and there were so many people trying to use it at one time, the servers were completely overwhelmed, and it just crashed. Couldn't work. Now you got to remember the deal was if you signed up before the end of May 7th, then you would get to use it for free.
Yep.
Because this is what they didn't tell people. What they didn't tell people is that once it was no longer free, when you were to sign up, you could choose how much you would pay via a PayPal donate kind of style thing. So technically you could still use it for free, and even if you couldn't, $1 at the very minimum, which a lot of people...
We love you, $1.
So,
$1.
Of course, they neglected to tell anybody.
You're after us?
However, they had a lot of issues, so they've been trying to raise money to make it work. Now, these are just 3 guys working their arse off to get this off. And I get that, and I appreciate and respect that. It's just 3 guys trying to get this off the ground. This is why they did not a Kickstarter, but very, very similar fund raising thing to try and get people to use it. This is what I don't like. What I don't like is that they said the people who donate will get the first use of the release. They get the first usage of it. And a lot of people go, well, they paid to help bring it out, so what's the problem with that? They've already committed to the people who signed up for free, saying, as soon as this comes out, you get to use this. You get to absolutely use this. So we signed up. What did we sign up for then? You're not providing what you promised.
I couldn't even install the fucker.
Exactly. Well, no one could, apart from a handful of people who can't even use it. So they made a promise to people saying that you'll get first use, but now they're going back to say, well, now that people are providing money, the people who are paying people to provide money for this, they're going to get the first release, and anybody else is going to get nothing until later on.
Mm-hmm.
So, hang on a second. Yeah, okay, we didn't pay anything, and I understand that, and I get that. But you made a promise to your clients. You said, if we sign up before this date, we can get it for free, we can use it. We signed up. The fact that you weren't able to provide it is not our problem. It is your problem to rectify.
Too bad.
And now they're saying, oh, well, if you donate money, you'll get the first release. Well, what about all the people that you convinced to sign up, despite the fact,
It takes some amazing work to have people wanting to boycott you before you even start.
Well, I would still happily use this. What I'm pissed off is, well, how come... I get the logic in saying, well, if you pay, you should get to use the first release. Yes, but so should everyone that signed up. Because you made a promise that you can't keep. So you have to make it up to those people. So how do you make it up to the people that agreed to sign up for free? Because will we still get it for free?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point.
That's what I want to know. Are we still going to get it for free? Because if they turn around and say, well, you have to pay for it, because we've got the codes, we've got the email. If you've signed up, you got an email.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
Will that expire by the time we get by the time we get Babblr up and running?
Fuck that, man.
And if it is, what about the people that did sign up then? Because now a lot of people may turn around and say, well, hang on, why are you bitching about getting it for free, but you only have to pay $1 for it? Hey, I've got a problem paying $1 for it.
Banana.
I have a problem paying with $1 for it because I'm broke and I was promised it for free.
That's what I'm getting at. When you promise people, oh, if you sign up before that, you get it for free. When you make that promise, you can't go back at it. And if they turn around and say, oh, well, it was, we have to pay it, my response is going to be, you promised it for free. You can't go back on that. And here's the thing.
It goes against the Trade Descriptions Act.
Yeah, that doesn't cater to the internet, really. Because the Trade Description Act is for the UK. But it does go against, you could argue that it goes against your basic rights as a consumer online. I'm sure there's an internet consumer rights thing. But my point is, you can't refund free. And I don't believe, like, just because something's free doesn't mean you don't have a right. Like, if I say to a geek, you know, right, if you come here today, I don't know, say, to help me tidy up, because it is a shit tip, you know, I will give you, you know, 4 bottles of iron brew for free. You arrive, and then I'm like, oh, well, we can't do the work today, because I've got a bad back. You come back in a week's time, I say, right, okay, but I'm going to charge you £2 for the iron brew. You're supposed to, hang on, you said I could have it for free.
Well, I think it's just something more to punch you.
You said I could have it for free.
It'd be fuck you, boss.
Yeah, but exactly, fuck you. You already promised me to have it for free. So why the hell do I have to pay now? You made a promise. Now, the difference between that and that one is you can walk away. I already signed up. I signed up for this shit. I got the email and all that jazz. You know, we all signed up. We got the email. You know, we have it on record that we signed up before then. Now, obviously, they haven't said anything about the people who signed up not getting it for free. This is all speculation at this point.
Yeah.
And I'm happy to say that. It's all speculation. It could very well be that once everything's up and running, they go, all right, now, basically, it's up and running now. And by the way, if you sign up for free the first time, it's still free.
Yeah.
Great, Grant. And I'll be like, okay, I'm pissed off that these people get it first, but you've got to give something to the people who pay, and that's the only thing they can offer. Okay, I get that. You're wanting to raise money, the only thing you could offer is you'll get to use it first. Am I pissed off about that? Yeah, I am. But I suppose you've got to give people some bang for the buck. I was tempted to put money into it. Originally, like when I saw it, but it was my own bank account. I was like, not right now. Yeah. But again, it was just irritating to be like, I think one of my biggest issues with it, the fact that they're saying, well, we could never have estimated how much you're going to have. It's like,
want to Tumblr and look at daily use.
Exactly. It's like, surely you must have known that something like this, especially when you
spent... you knew you had a market for it.
It was
you
like,
must
what?
have known.
Was it? I saw that thing up for at least 48 hours to say sign up for free.
I saw it. You told me about it.
Yeah. It was my fiance.
Your fiance told me about it at Long Move.
She told me about it.
Yeah.
So
I saw it 4 more times of people on my dash when I woke up in the morning.
But my point is,
it was 48 hours, but I saw it on the morning it was announced at least 6 times.
But the point is, it had been up for more than 2 days.
Yeah.
Right? It had been up for possibly 3 days, even a week. Who knows? Right?
Look at the notes. And
they've been reblogged time and time and time again. You made press announcements about it. People are going to fucking notice and sign up because people will sign up for anything that's free. That's the thing. When you see free, something in the brain goes, ooh, I'll have that. It's like if somebody offered me a fucking course in goat herding, I'd do it if it were free. Because it's a qualification. Yeah, well, it's free. I'll do it for free. So, yeah. You know, they didn't anticipate the large numbers. You were advertising to a large number. It's like when we eventually opened up our comic book store, right?
Yeah.
We've gone through the numbers so many different fucking times and try to estimate how much would we want to be aiming for what kind of an estimate would we want? Would we want to overestimate or should we overestimate? But we've always said we always want to make sure we have more stock than we'll need. Because at the very least, we won't have to order any more the next month, or a lot less the next month. Simple as. You know, they should have gone, well, look, this is what this is what we're hoping to get. Then you cater for what you're hoping to get or more. You know, you've got to look at the potential growth there and say, right, okay, well, we need a higher server value or whatever it is. It's just been so, I mean, and I get it. It's 3 guys trying to run it, but it's like the same argument I make when people bitch about Microsoft versus Apple, when people are like, oh my god, Microsoft has a monopoly on games.
Yeah.
If you are deciding to go against another company, it's your own fucking fault what happens.
Yeah, I agree completely, because it makes no sense to...
If our comic book business fails against Forbidden Planet and Traveling Man, we can name them because they're the only 2 in this fucking country, you know, that's...
They're the 2 major ones, right?
Yeah, 2 major ones in this country. It's our bad for trying to go against them. But at least the best we can do is to educate ourselves and prepare ourselves for those worst case scenarios.
It makes no sense to say stuff like, oh, well, we never could have known how much you put it on the internet. What did you expect?
No, more importantly, right? Listen, the average, did you say, got told this week, the average YouTube user is
Oh,
on for how long?
15 minutes.
50 minutes, right? That's how much of the day I usually have left after Tumblr and fucking YouTube. Combined, because I have it on 2 windows.
Yeah.
You
I
listen
don't
to
know why
you,
I've poured you a Pepsi.
because I finished Mountain Dew.
Yeah, but you know, we give you iron burr.
Yeah, but I share it, so it's alright.
Oh, well, that's fine then.
And so we've gone through it, right? YouTube, 15 minutes a day. Someone put up that the average internet usage of an 18 to 30-year-old individual is 2 to 3 hours a day.
Yeah.
The average for Tumblr, maybe 6 hours on your computer, then you'll go and lie down somewhere with your phone or tablet.
Yeah, it's
I'm on Tumblr now!
it's just retarded, you know.
Yeah, I'm just looking up some. I'm trying to see if I get some stats up on the old YouTube. And average time spent on YouTube, because I find it a bit odd. Like when somebody says to me, because when somebody says to me, the average user spends 15 minutes on YouTube. I'm like, most videos on YouTube aren't even 15 minutes long.
Yeah.
And the way it was presented to me was, they'll take snippets out. But it just seems odd.
Again, I'd like to point out that we're all big fans of Rooster Teeth. We're all big fans of the Rod Pod, The Art of Wrestling. And look at their timing.
I would Babblr, which is, I know it's not on YouTube, but we are a podcast show.
Yes. Absolutely. I mean,
so look at the entire Smodcast on smodcast.com. You tell me anything that's under 15 minutes there.
Yeah, it's a silly notion, but one that we cannot escape from at times.
When a man kills a woman. Who's been watching Bottom?
Me.
Right.
Really?
Actually, I've been looking up the most recent statistics according to...
What's the Hemlock Grove like?
Hemlock Grove, it's actually kind of cool. I mean, it's not the best show.
Sorry, boss.
No, carry on.
You're distracted.
No, carry on. I'm just double checking some other stuff.
Was Darren Brown you, boss?
Which one?
What?
Trick of the Mind.
Yes.
Oh, cool.
Mine was Enigma.
And then Mythbusters, yes.
Enigma's on there, by the way.
Yeah. Well, I've been looking, and funnily enough, it's I've been looking at the average length of time spent by a viewer. The most recent statistics on this matter. These were calculated, December 2012.
Wow.
Right. So that's the most recent.
Very recent.
Right. 45 minutes a day.
Pardon?
45 minutes a day.
For what?
On YouTube.
Fuck that shit.
Right? People watching 45 minutes a day on YouTube on average.
That's just season 1 of Epic Rap Battles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about season 2?
Yeah, but my point is, 45 minutes. 15 minutes, 45 minutes.
That would even get you a full day's meal on Epic Meal.
Exactly.
Which I love.
As you said.
Epic Meal Time. Gotta watch it. You know why? Bacon and drunk cooks.
But here's the thing. Think about... And here's again, and I've got to go to my mathematics side here, right? So, geek about to be boring. Right? So, how a second. There you go, I'll be boring. Anyway, whilst I'm explaining this, the thing about the thing about averages, especially when it comes to the mean, it can be completely thrown apart by what's known as extremist values. So, for instance, if me, Geek, and Adam all go shopping, Geek spends 10 grand, I spend £1, and then Adam spends, let's say...
No one wins.
Yeah.
We draw.
Fair.
Yeah, I'd like to point out, just for anyone who's interested, while Steve was talking, me and Geek very quickly played a nice little game of Noughts and Crosses.
Oh, cool. Hell's Kitchen's on Netflix.
Yeah, but, I love you guys. But, you know...
Too, Stephen.
Adam Geek spends £1,000, I spend £1.
On what?
Booze.
Cool.
Woo! And Adam spends, say, 100, right?
Yep.
The thing is, that comes to 1,101. Right, 3, 2.
Mulan. That's not Mulan.
Right, so the average spend for all three of us is £367, right? So someone would come along to anyone and say that on average we spend 367 quid.
Yeah.
That's close to what Adam spent. It's off by 267. So no one near me. That's a difference of 366.
Yeah.
And no one near Geek, because that's a difference of 633 pounds.
The Doctor Who movies on here as well.
It's a good movie. It has its flaws, but it's pretty good.
Wow, so a lot of Disney on here. Robin Hood.
Yeah, and it shows the 7th.
Netflix,
sorry,
sponsor us!
Please.
The 7th Doctor becoming the 8th
Wouldn't that
Doctor.
be great, Dan, if we were an
Yeah.
exclusive to Netflix series?
But,
What geek?
but
Inspector Gadget.
shit movie. Both of them. But the fact is, so if you translate that into saying something like Geek spends if Geek spends, let's say you have a marathon day, you spend 10 hours on YouTube one day.
Okay.
Right? I just go in there to watch a show which is about 2 hours.
Okay.
Adam watches, say he watches one video and then goes out for the rest of the day. His is like 15 minutes.
Okay.
Right? So that's a quarter, right?
Okay.
So that's, 12.25 hours.
Uh-huh.
3 hours, 4 hours, and 25. So that is...
Oh, sweet. Buffy's been put on here as well.
Oh,
Yeah. So basically, according to the statistics, we on average watch
Only the
about
first 3 seasons.
just under 5 hours of stuff a day. But again, that's influenced by extreme values. Because if I say to Adam, "Oh, you watch run about 5 hours of YouTube every day," he could turn and go, "Well, no, I'm barely on it." When you take the average numbers, they get completely fucking thrown by extremist values. That's mathematics. So when you turn around and say that the average user watches videos for 15 minutes, 45 minutes, the question I'm asking you is, well, yeah, but how reflective is that of the actual facts?
Uh-huh.
It makes no sense. But put simply, I think it was either Mark Twain or George Orwell, probably Mark Twain. There are statistics, there's lies, damn lies, and then there's statistics.
The Silver Surfer, the animated series,
Yes?
also been put into Netflix UK.
Never saw that. I'll have to watch that.
Only 13 episodes of it, so it's not a bad little one.
So, put simply, when it comes to YouTube, when people say, like, the average user uses it for 15 minutes a day, it's like, really, I have yet to meet the people that only watch YouTube 15 minutes a day.
No, because you get sucked into the YouTube vortex.
Exactly. Like, put it this way, some big traps to watch out for on YouTube. We could do an entire fucking series based on this shit.
Oh, God, yeah.
There are entire series of getting trapped.
Yeah. The first one I advise everyone about is American, right? Family Feud with Steve
Harvey.
Steve Harvey.
Yep. Watching the best bits of that, you click the next one. There's a great one I love, one of my favourite ones, where it's
Soldiers?
yes.
Yeah.
It's a soldier on one side, and I think it's normal. Is it maybe a Navy officer on the other side?
I believe it's Navy SEAL. No,
Yeah.
well, not Navy SEAL,
But
but
a naval man,
is
and
it a Marine?
a Marine and a soldier, and he goes, which of the 7 dwarfs describes your wife? And they just stand there and look at each other and just go, nope. At which point Steve Harvey's just like, okay.
Eventually one of them hits the button and goes bashful. They're just like, sir.
Doc?
But the thing is, it's easy to win that. All you gotta do is name the 7 dwarfs.
He said they go, Doc?
Because here's the thing, right? At most, I think there was like maybe 4 answers. There are 7 dwarfs. You've got 3 lives. All you gotta do is the chances are you're gonna win that one. But everyone's like, no, we ain't saying shit.
Isn't there another one where a woman goes, what's the least attractive? We asked 100 people what the least attractive figure on a man is. And she presses the button. And remember Steve Harvey's a big black man moustache. And he sits there and she goes, facial hair. And he just looks and goes, bitch, please.
Yeah, it's like, how dare you? Another one is one I find myself on all the time, Ellen DeGeneres.
The Ellen Show. Yeah.
The thing is, it leads me to another one because of Ellen DeGeneres, and that's...
Adolf Hitler.
No, not Taylor Swift. The science guy. Not Bill Nye.
Bill Nye, the science guy.
No, not Bill Nye.
Aww.
It's another guy called Steve someone.
No, fuck.
Who does science on the
Carino.
show. Bill Nye doesn't do science on El Generico show. He basically...
El Generico show.
What, El Generico?
He just said the El Generico show.
I bet I didn't.
That's what it sounded like.
Other traps, I think the weird the thing which gets every YouTuber, at some point they find themselves at the weird part of YouTube.
Oh,
And
God,
there
yes.
will always be a comment saying, I'm at that weird part of YouTube again.
Or, what the fuck am I doing here?
But there are
Let's plays can get you caught for hours.
Yeah, but, you know, that's how I tell you what, that reminds me of how I came across Rooster Teeth, because I used to watch the Red vs. Blue series.
Yeah.
Years ago. And I remember, like, a couple of years after, Adam was like, I've got to show you something. And he showed me Red vs. I'm like, dude, I've seen this, you know? And he's like, yeah, but what about this? And I was going, yeah, I know all about Caboose and blah, blah, blah. He goes, yeah, what about when they found the alien? And then there's me going, what? Because I wasn't aware that Bush season 4! So I was like, okay, what? So I had to go back and watch it. And then years later, I'm watching Achievement Hunter. I'm like, because they were doing Minecraft, and I love Minecraft LPs, especially when it's a mod of some kind. But then it was like, wait a minute, I recognise that voice. And then,
it's Jack.
Then going, it's like, oh my god, it's the same people. Jack. And then there was a podcast, and that's how I got back into Rooster Teeth.
Is Gavin part of Red vs. Blue?
Actually, apparently he is, and I've heard it's either like, it's one of the late season, like 8, 9, or something
I wasn't sure because, of course, Gavin Free being Brit and that must start long before he joined the
he was
the Achievement Hunter team.
Snowball Guys.
Yeah.
He still is the Snowball Guys. It's just that the person he does it with is in the military, so he has to keep going to. I believe he shipped off recently to a tour of Afghanistan. So, which, by the way, can the military please stop using that term?
Shit.
It's not a fucking tour. You know,
They've used it for ages.
It's not like you're on a nice bus taking photographs going, and if you look out of your window, you shall see. You know,
do you know where you know when you're moved somewhere in the army?
Yeah.
It's not called you're moved. You don't go to a different barracks.
All right.
It's a posting.
Yeah.
You've been posted.
Yeah.
Which confused the fuck out of me when I grew up in the army going, what do you mean my dad's been posted?
Uh-huh.
How the fuck can he post me that?
Yeah, how many fucking stabs did that take?
He's a big guy, that. You can't fit in the letterbox.
Yeah. It's like, how are you fucking weird with those tiny scales, man?
Also, when I was a kid,
Right.
and it wasn't until, I would say 2001 when we moved back to England,
Aye.
that I saw a letterbox.
Fair enough.
Because we didn't have letters that came to us, we had PO boxes.
Well, of course, yeah. I think it would be odd for me moving to America when they have, because they have it in some places, but one of the main systems they have is basically where you go to one place and pick up all your mail.
Yeah, it's a communal box,
Yeah.
isn't it? But you got your own little cubby.
Yeah, that
Pigeonhole.
I don't get that. I'm like, no, I want it to my
I can
house.
easily do that, that's fine.
For me, it's like, I want it in my house. You know? The other thing I would never want in my life is a fucking fax machine. Jesus, dear sweet mother God.
Who faxes?
Well, the thing is, a lot of
Apart from Joseph Parks, who
no,
faxes?
within corporations and council departments, like Durham County Council, DWP, and all that jazz. They
I
still
thought
do
everyone
fax.
still used email.
Yeah, but they probably still use email just like which sounds like fucking RoboCop starting up. It's just
Excellent film, Robocop.
but I would hate to have a fax machine because it's surely it's an arcane thing
Oh,
now.
yeah, it is. No faxes.
It's surely it's antiquated now. I mean, because we have email, which just begs the question. You know, we have email now. Why do we bother with so much in the way of letters? I mean, I'm glad for letters. You know, I would rather have fucking mail come to my door try stuff. Yeah, if someone gave me the option, okay, do you want mail, like paper mail coming to your door asking if you want a bigger penis, or do you want emails? Give me the fucking papers every fucking time, because I have the added satisfaction of ripping them open, destroying it, and then like, at the end of the day, it takes less effort for me to open a piece of paper again. Oh fuck it, than it is for me to read an email. Because to me, read an email, I've got to log in. I've got to.
I don't actually. Mine come on my phone, and I don't do it most of the time. Then I don't actually read them. I say who it's from and read the fucking little subject.
I just wish the Hotmail fucking filter system worked because essentially every email I get, if it's not from a contact, my contacts never email me. Does anyone's contacts ever actually email you?
I don't have any contacts.
Well, okay. It's like Adam.
Yeah.
You've had an MSN account, therefore you've had contacts with us, right?
Correct.
And you got your Skype and all just. Has anyone ever in your Hotmail account that's actually emailed you in the last, say, week?
No. It's usually companies, and if it's
Right. And it'd be things like DeviantArt, Skype, Facebook.
Cafe Press are one of the worst.
Oh my god, they've got a deal. They've got DFS. They've got a fucking deal every which way on Sunday.
You know, ironically enough, you know what the best ones are that email you?
Mm-hmm.
Porn sites.
Mm.
They email you maybe once a week. Here's your weekly update.
See, here's the thing.
YouTube does the same thing, actually.
I
Here's
used
your YouTube digest.
YouTube are doing this thing now, which is ridiculous. I'll upload a video, and then the next day or something like that, I'll get an email saying, "Congratulations, your video's been uploaded." Or no, congratulations, you've uploaded a video. Click here to watch it. I'm like, okay, number one, I know where the fucking video is. I uploaded it. Number two, I know it's uploaded. I uploaded it. You know, it boggles the fuck. I mean, there's an opt-out feature, but it took me a while to
find it.
Yeah, it took me a while to think. Because again, go back to that Hotmail thing. Only if I get an email from a contact, never happened. You know, it'll go straight in my inbox. Great, but I've set it because I was so sick of getting spam that okay, all the email now goes to the junk. But now I have to go in to the junk and read through the emails anyway. And then I've clicked things like, okay, DeviantArt. I don't mind advertisement from DeviantArt because sometimes I go, oh, actually it's there. But now that they're closing down the shop, there's no need, which is something I wanted to bitch about, but I'll leave it. Basically, DeviantArt shut down the shop. Stupid move, in my opinion. But I'm not a billionaire, so
I'll be back.
I think it'll be back in a different form. Yeah, I think they're screwing people over. I think there's a bit of a lie going on there, just like with Babblr. But it's things like Tumblr's on. I've like put these in the files. Okay, these accounts are fine.
Yeah, my ones that come through usually is Tumblr.
But Hotmail still filters it through the junk system.
Tumblr, we love Fine. YouTube, my porn.
But that's the thing. It still goes in my. It still goes in my junk.
Really?
Yeah. Even though I've put them.
No, mine.
Even when I've said.
Well, of course, mine is on the iPhone. System, so it's a bit easier.
That was part of the problem because I abandoned one of my emails long ago. I still use it for a directory of spam. The_1_. I don't give a shit if people know because at the end of the day, it's just for spam anyway.
But, I got my Gmail, my AOL on this as well. It's pretty cool though.
But okay, like I said, I'm getting random emails for stuff here. But like I say, Adam, you were right. Like Catholic Press is the worst.
Yeah.
Like today, an extra 30% off your order until such and such, and then
I thought 25% and 30%.
And before that's even finished, before that deal's even finished, they've started the next one. And an email from YouTube about somebody bitching at me for me calling them
that's just
ridiculous. Basically, somebody emailing me telling me they were saying that JBL was the worst champion in terms of draws in history, and this person's essentially rewriting history to say otherwise.
It wasn't.
Yeah. Lo and fucking behold, I do not fucking believe this. On the day that I'm bitching about a contact never emailing me, I've just received an email
from the anonymous role general manager.
I've just received an email from a contact in my Hotmail list. You cunt knuckle. You bastard. Anyway.
I've got to reblog that. See, look, I'm on Tumblr now.
Yeah. But my point is, it's like the filter just doesn't fucking work. Drives me mad.
You know how you were telling me about before about Final Fantasy?
Yeah.
About the at one point you get the stuff in that.
Aye.
I've just gone on Tumblr.
Yeah.
And on there is the 8 disciplines of war and magic.
Yeah.
Because it's for the upcoming release of Final Fantasy 14: A Realm Reborn.
Oh god, me and Anne were bitching about it the other day.
The Black Mage.
Yeah.
The Bard.
Yes.
The Warrior. The Warrior! Oh.
Warrior!
Yes. Monk.
Yes.
The Summoner. The Paladin. What's
yes.
a Paladin? Nailed it!
Adam? Yeah.
The White Mage.
Yeah.
The Dragoon.
I'm not sure what a dragoon is.
Of all the things that are symbolic of the nation of Ishgard, few are more recognized than a dragoon.
Few are more recognized. I don't recognize it.
Born amidst the timeless conflict between men and dragons, here, these lance-wielding knights have developed an aerial style of combat that they might better pierce the scaled hides of their mortal foes, taking the firmament as though it were an extension of the land. They descend upon the enemy with every ounce of their bodies behind the blow. I never got that once. It is the penetrative power that characterizes the dragoon.
Fair enough. But, yeah, it's... Just get away from that. I mean, there's a lot of stuff online that one could lose their minds over at this day and age. The Babblr thing, the whole DeviantArt shutting down the store, which...
By the way, if you want to see all of them, go to geekking.tumblr.com.
Yeah. Basically, you'll find links in the description to the main chat page, and then you can go to the Meet the Cast. I've really got to do an update on the Meet the Cast one. I'm going to be doing some updates to the Steve Jobs. Sorry, I'm talking about my own shit now. Shouttheshow.tumblr.com stuff to try and get a bit more active.
Go Tumblr.
Yeah, I'm trying to stay off Tumblr so I'm not getting distracted. Unlike certain people. Grrr, shakes fist. And that would be a wombat riding a turtle. Indeed. Okay then. So, yeah. Anything else about the internet? Anything else about the internet? I'll tell you something which is irritating me.
Boobs.
Boobs never irritate me.
Good.
Lack of.
Lack of boobs does irritate me. No. This Saturday is a Doctor Who special.
Oh no.
Where this Saturday...
Don't go there!
Which this Saturday they will be revealing the true name of the Doctor.
Oh no, here we go.
For those of you wondering, that is, of course, Doctor Who, currently played by Matt Smith, who's the
Actually,
11th...
just a doctor?
Who is the 11th...
Doesn't really matter who.
Who is the 11th Doctor.
In the name of the Doctor.
The Doctor's name is one of the biggest things about his mystique. The very point is Doctor Who. You know, you're not supposed to know his name. This is a character whose name you should not know. Very much like the Joker's true origins, it should never be known. You read it because it's part of that mystique. It's part of that nature. Now, I was in an argument about this the other night. I'm not pissed off that River Song knows his name. Because River Song is Doctor Who's wife. You know, it's not a spoiler. It's on the TV show, you know. If you're not called with Doctor Who, whoops. But yeah, you know, that happened like last season or something. River Song is the Doctor's wife, so that's how she knows. But she revealed that she knew the name back when Tennant was the Doctor.
Spoilers.
Spoilers. Oh, one of my favourite lines was like, Matt Smith's Doctor turns around and says, "If you get me trouble," she goes, "I know, I'll scream." But she goes, "Oh, don't worry, I'll scream. I'm a screamer. That's just one of my many spoilers." And I'm just like, oh God, what was a gig?
I'm on Tumblr.
Yes.
Doctor Who was a big tumble.
Yes.
The fan base is fucking rabid.
Yeah.
So, one of the things that comes up is that there may be the episode leaked. The episode of this week coming up may be leaked.
Right.
To the point where Doctor Who Official on Twitter at BBC Doctor Who sent this out.
Yeah.
Stephen Moffat, I believe he's the writer, is he?
Yes, he's the writer.
Has promised if fans help keep the finale's secrets, we'll release a special video featuring Matt and David right after the end. Well, that just sent my Tumblr into an uproar. Well,
again, the reason why I think the Doctor's name should never be known is because it is one of the core foundations of the building blocks of Doctor Who. It is one of the biggest jewels. Okay. This is why I don't go on Tumblr, guys, during the show, because then you get those big silences which I have to explain. As cool, as interesting as Tumblr is, if we're on camera, it's fine. This is why.
Yeah, you just sit down with me and him like this.
Exactly. You know, we do hope to do it live stream eventually, but
Live stream.
I promise you this.
Live stream.
I do promise that when we start doing live stream episodes, beer will be involved.
Let's just Martin Luther King did that in his speeches. Just I dream.
We actually have
All the time.
we actually have a jar here, which is the beer fund for the show. Which is it costs 14 quid for the beer for a show which buys, I think it's 28 bottles.
Maybe for you.
Yeah, well, for like 14 quid you get like 28 bottles, which is like a lot. But unfortunately, I'm the mean person that tries to ration it to make sure it lasts more shows. But I've got a jar here. So far, we have £1.31 in here. I'll be obviously contributing as much as I can to it. So, like, when we get money together, obviously, I'll buy beer plans. However, get back to my point about Doctor Who. The other thing that what surprises me is there's been a lot of things talked about, and like a lot of things, catchphrases, if you will, in the show, talking about the Impossible Girl, which is who he's currently travelling with. It was the Doctor.
Claudia.
Yeah, it was the
Clara.
It was the Doctor's daughter that died already, but then came back. Mm-hmm. Again, this happened during Terrence time. Then there's the Doctor's name, but the fall of the 11th. Mm-hmm. Now, Matt Smith is the 11th Doctor. Mm-hmm. Now, the Time Lord has 13 lives, in theory. Who's going to be the 12th?
Well, that's a big secret. And surprisingly enough, me being Geek King and all, I don't have any fucking clue.
Yeah, apparently this is going to be his Matt Smith's last series.
Yeah. Which, I mean,
the rumours are gone.
I really do want to go back and watch out, because Matt, out of the ones I've seen, when I watch full episodes, I cannot warm to Matt Smith's style. But I have no hatred for him whatsoever. It wasn't like with Eccleston, where I was like, this isn't the Doctor. It's like, for me, Eccleston was more like...
Okay, that can't happen.
For me, Eccleston was like someone that was really trying... I felt he was trying really hard, but maybe a bit too hard. And by the way, I tend to talk a lot of bullshit anyway, I can like and dislike things on a fucking dime for no reason. But I can never get to Eccleston's character. David Tennant I fell in love with to the point where he became my favourite Doctor, and I've been watching Doctor Who pretty much since the beginning, Obviously I wasn't there for the very, 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 very first episodes, but I've watched them. I've seen them, okay? And before David Tennant came along, Baker was my favourite, and then it was, trying to remember his name, I think it was McCoy, because you know me, I am terrible with actor names. It was the one who died in the movie to give us the 8th Doctor. He was the one with, I'll have to bring up the list of names. But that's the thing, a lot of people think that I'm not a Doctor Who fan because I can't remember the name of the actors. It's like, I just can't remember actors' names.
Yeah.
Like, I remember we were talking about an actor for like a fan cast, and I was just like, who the hell are you talking about?
I showed you a picture and you knew
it's like, oh yeah! And you were like, how could you not know that person's name?
Alright, there's a list, this is just a thing on IMDb.
Uh-huh.
Someone has done this according to not only what they would like to see, they've obviously put it in that sort of rank, but this is a list of genuine people who have been rumoured to play the 12th Doctor.
Yeah.
Right.
Damon Lewis. I'm waiting for boss to say who.
Yes.
And then we to go, Doctor. See what I did there?
Indeed, I did.
Yeah, it was Sylvester McCoy.
Yes. Damien Lewis, he is currently the main star of Homeland.
Okay.
On Channel 4 over here, and I think it's HBO in America.
Mm-hmm.
Do correct me. You will, no doubt. Also a band of brothers and the like, Ginger.
Mm.
Luke Malaby, he was in 28 Days Later.
Yep.
Rufus Penry Jones from Match Point, he probably done other things as well. Hal Osmond, I don't know who the fuck he is, to be honest.
Mm.
Stephen Moyer, he is currently one of the main guys in True Blood, so I don't see him leaving anytime soon.
No.
Joseph Fiennes played Shakespeare in Shakespeare in Love.
See, well, the thing is, one of the people I thought could have played the Doctor, but obviously can't now, was Rupert Grant. He played slightly different Doctor, maybe bring it back to a slightly older style. Rupert Rupert Grant. Sorry, Richard Grant. I believe his name is. I always get the names wrong.
Richard Garriott.
Not Richard Garriott.
I know, I'm just messing with you.
Richard
Grant. He was.
Richard E. Grant.
Is it Richard E. Grant? It might be. Again, actors' names.
Yeah, I'm just wondering if that's the same guy because it might have just might have seen him somewhere when he was typed as Richard Grant.
It's because Richard E. Grant. It can't be Richard E. Grant because he's in the next episode.
All right.
So I thought it could have been him. It would have been interesting. The Doctor Who character is not like it's not like Superman or Batman. See, with Superman or Batman, you need a specific actor to play. Like, you couldn't just stick Sean Bean in the role of Batman.
You fucking could.
I don't think you could.
Let's start all the way.
Yeah.
You could.
Winter is coming.
You couldn't put. Kutcher. You couldn't put. Johnny Depp in the role of Superman.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. You couldn't put. You could put Keith Sutherland as Superman.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. There are roles that you need. Doctor Who has a wide variety of possibility. Obviously there has to be a level of quickness, but it's like there are actors out there who could play the Doctor and could do a good job. I thought Richard E. Grant would have been a good choice because he has that level of okay.
That's an interesting one.
Yes.
Blake Harrison. He's best known for his work in The In-Betweeners. He played Neil.
What about him?
He's been talked about taking over.
Oh, to play the Doctor.
Yeah.
Right. Sorry, it's just we're talking about something else. I suppose so.
Ben Chaplin. He was also a young actor because they all think I'm going younger this time.
Well, it would help because it helps with the longevity of the show, but at the same time,
well, they're still in that pretty boy, don't they?
Yeah, I'd say what I would love to see because the reason why we want a pretty boy.
There you go. There's the one who'll do it for me.
What?
Two names came up there.
Yeah.
Matthew Horn, best known as.
What I love is you quote TV shows, and I'm saying yes instinctively. I instinctively say yes. I don't watch these shows.
Gavin and Stacey. He's best known as Gavin from Gavin and Stacey.
Oh, no, you're on about.
Yeah. Or Daniel Mayers, who is a great British actor.
Really? Sorry, really? Gavin from Gavin and Stacey?
Yeah, I work for him. Yeah. He's not just that sort of actor, though. He's done a whole range of stuff.
Yeah, but just looking at him, I'd be like, no, he doesn't look like the Doctor to me.
Did Tennant look like the Doctor?
Yes.
Eccleston?
No. But I don't think he worked either.
Yeah.
So, but again, it's not about...
Daniel Mays, though, you may have seen him, you may not. He's a great great British actor from London.
He has a doctorish look about him.
I'll tell you, yeah, if they could.
He's appeared in such stuff as The Bank Job.
Let's have a look at that one again. Right.
He's been in The Bank Job. Recently, Welcome to the Punch. He played Ronald Biggs and Mrs. Briggs.
There was one actor.
He was in Public Enemies.
There was one actor. I can't remember his name.
Do you know what he was in?
Yeah, he was. It's not important, but the point is,
it is.
He was. Well, no, shut up. He was one of these people that could have been a brilliant Doctor. He had the suave, the quirkiness, and they then put him in Doctor Who. And he played the Doctor.
Right.
Because however, it turns out that he thought he was a Doctor because he found the Doctor's watch, which had his personality in it. So he assumed the character of the Doctor, and it turned out he was just a scientist. But it was like, but that's another one that could have replaced him.
Yeah, there's lots of problems when it comes to stuff like that.
Yeah, I've heard like the
Speaking of recasting,
yeah,
they're talking about recasting the Avengers film.
There's no point
because RDJ has refused negotiations until the rest of the cast get an increased wage increase. Sorry, not increase.
Is he doing David Trimmer?
Yes.
Right.
Because he's making a lot more money than they are.
Well, that's good.
And they've said, okay, we'll talk about this. And that Thor is here's the thing, right? RDJ made something stupid, like for his role, for like 37 minutes of the film. I think he appears in. Yeah. Made a stupid amount of money.
Yeah.
I mean, they all made stupid amount of money, but he made ridiculous. For someone like the Black Widow, who is a plot thread the whole way through the film, as Funk can attest to.
Yeah.
She was a plot thread in Iron Man too.
Exactly. She's the whole way. She weaves her way in and out.
Yeah. She's the most important secondary character you can have.
Scarlet made next to nothing in comparison to what RDJ made.
And just before people complain, he said next to nothing in comparison. Because I know some people listen to the show and they're like, wait a minute.
Chris Hemsworth made the same amount as Scarlet did.
Yep.
Chris Evans, Captain America, made a little bit more than Scarlet and Chris, but nowhere near what fucking Nick Fury made for 10 minutes of it. Yeah. So he said no. So they said, okay, well, yeah, we'll keep him. Hawkeye. Nope. The rumor is they're going to recast Hawkeye because Jeremy Renner won't be available to shoot Avengers 2. And that he was asking for a little bit more than they thought he was worth.
Wow.
And the talk is that as much as RDJ is trying to fight for him, Renner's just has turned around and said, it's not that important to me. If they're going to recast me, I'm already doing something else. It's fair enough. Let them do it. And the interesting thing is here. There's been two responses to this whole news. Yeah. One, good on RDJ. Yeah. Good on Robert Downey Jr. for making it. And the other one has been, they make a load of money anyway. I'm like, fair enough, but he's trying to make it even for everyone on set.
Well, there are going to be some people that are going to say, why does RDJ accept a pay cut? It's like,
and he's willing to.
But but it's like, you're missing the point.
Yeah, he actually did come out and say, I'm willing to take a pay cut if we get
But everyone has to be the same.
But he wants to make it even. That's
absolutely.
What
yeah, absolutely.
But here's the other problem. Nobody's kicking off about Jeremy Renner getting recast. Yeah. Because Jeremy Renner wasn't anybody's first choice Hawkeye. Yeah. Don't get me wrong, in the film, made Hawkeye good. Hawkeye was a badass, and Hawkeye needed to be for that version of him.
But wasn't there this...
Well, Hawkeye has this whole...
Wasn't there this rumour, though, that he didn't really give a shit about play Hawkeye?
He's not a diehard fan, so he didn't care. Well, Hawkeye has this... When you read the comics, Funk's probably read a little bit of Hawkeye by now. Yeah. He's a wisecracking guy. Yeah. One of the first times...
fucking kill him.
Yeah, well, one of the first times you see Hawkeye... He turns around and he's talking to one of the Ant-Men, I think it's Scott Lang, about his one that you want to, but you shouldn't. Yeah. And he's on about Madam Viper with the long green hair. And he's going, yeah, man, that'd be awesome, man. And then She-Hulk comes in, he goes, hey, green's my colour. But you never got that from Hawkeye. Hawkeye was, yes, sir, I was up there, I can see Bella. No, he's had some great moments. So he made the bow and arrow cool.
Yeah, they played him too serious. Though.
Yeah. Well, and the problem being is this. Who brings a bow and arrow to a gunfight? That's what everyone's got. Ready going to use Hawkeye with the arrows? He's still, and sure he had his special fucking bottoms, so that bombs and stuff like that. But anyway, he didn't have was a fucking punch pad.
I'll tell you one thing, they got it right in the DC Injustice game.
Yes,
they worked.
Green Arrow's a bad.
They worked that fucking shit out.
But they turned around and you came on that film, and I remember coming out that film going, "Wow, Hawkeye was fucking badass." But where was the jokes? Everyone had a joke. Hulk was the star of the show. Hulk has so many jokes in that, it's unbelievable. And he doesn't even tell a joke.
Should he go?
Exactly.
And of course the funniest, everyone's standing around and they just punch a slow.
Yeah. I popped. You heard, when you're sitting there and you go to cinema and
I was editing at the time and then I heard a cry of laughter from a cinema far away.
When you're sitting there in the cinema and you hear a little bit of laughter amongst people. Yeah. It was like, yeah, it's funny. Yeah. Like we watched Dark Knight and there was the jokes, a couple of jokes here and there. Yeah. Like your wife took the car, so she said to call you a taxi. My wife? And you see her driving, and you heard the sniggering because it was a funny joke, but we're English. Yeah, that went out the window in the Avengers. I was watching the Avengers. I thought I was transported to America. Don't bear in mind, I was lucky in this one. It was opening day, first showing. Yeah. I was there with a bunch of people just like me. It wasn't like Iron Man when I went to watch Iron Man, and I was wearing my Iron Man shirt, and they turned around and went, oh, I guess you're going to watch Iron Man, yeah? When I watched Avengers with my Iron Man shirt on, everyone had at least one piece of comic merch on them. Yeah. And they were sitting there, and there was a queue, and I'm sitting going, to be fucking awesome. I sat there, and I came out of it going, I can't wait for Avengers 2! Joss Whedon's a genius! They still is. But of course, the big news is not that they're recasting Hawkeye. All that RDJ is going to cut down is that the Shield TV show looks badass.
Indeed, it does.
That one gif you the posted there. I'm not going to spoil for anyone. Like if you follow if you're following Tumblr, in fact, you should be following Geek Hunter. He posts and reblogs awesome shit. Just my face. It's just brilliant. But before
it gets you going, doesn't it?
Before we finish up for the day, for the week, sorry.
Oops.
Well, I was going to say the challenge for this week. I want to set you guys.
Oh yeah, we had to talk about that one, didn't we?
Yeah, a quick challenge I want to set everyone this week. And if you want to give challenges,
question 2.
Yeah, I'm going to get to that. We're going to answer that afterwards, right? But this week's challenge, I want you to take a week to think about it. Send us in your thoughts. I'll tell you how to do it at the end. Who should be the next Doctor? Very simple. Doesn't matter if you watch the show or not.
I have to watch a bit of Doctor Who to find out.
Or this week, Geek.
Netflix.
Or who would have to play the Doctor for you to entertain the thought of watching it?
May I give you some choices of Doctor Who episodes to watch?
Well, I'm gonna start from 9. So
best thing to do. Well, it's best. It's best.
10.
No, because I think 9 is my sort of Doctor.
Yeah, Eccleston does a good job.
He's the Doctor that will fuck someone up.
He does as well.
And he'll fuck his assistant.
Put it this way: Eccleston will fuck you up. Tennant will scare you.
He'll try.
Well, not scare you. But the question is, who should be the next one? I'll post this on Tumblr, Facebook, all over the fucking place.
Oh, dear God, Tumblr is going nuts, isn't it?
Send us your suggestions. Now, you remember last week, I said, about it, like I said, if you guys ever get a chance, because not just I don't just run this show. If you guys ever have a question, even if I'm already asking one, ask it.
Oh, this was the one who would get laid by.
No, not laid. Well, that
date with.
Yeah.
Yeah, which means we get laid.
If it was a third.
You haven't been on a date with me.
No, first.
Actually, the only people I've ever taken out on a date are people I'm already going out with. Right?
I like that.
And I know that sounds like a weird thing, but what I mean is, I don't actually go out on dates. I do relationships.
Not a date.
I've never had a one night. I've never had a one night stand. I've never had
a one night stand.
No, I've never had casual relationships. I've always been.
I guess Brian Cannon classes as a casual one last time.
I've either been single, or in a committed relationship. That's it. Those are. I never had fun, shall we say?
I've either been single or I've been in a committed relationship. I've never had fun.
Yeah. So I said I had a tone to that. Just somebody not listening as per usual. Geek.
It sounds fun.
Yeah, but anyway, I've never fucked around.
There you go.
Right. So I would the relationship and the relationships would pretty much start with them coming to me saying, you know,
oh my God, Stephen,
Put down your kegs.
So we present the gift of our boobs.
Actually, it's usually about a week before we start.
Get your kegs done.
So.
I'll get your out.
So yeah, the one time I tried taking a lass on a date, she was too stupid to understand the concept. I was like saying,
I've been there.
Basically, it was she was a friend of my ex's, and
which one?
The second one, and no, she was really good. Had all the had all the beauty in the world, but none of the fucking brains.
Which turns you off.
You know, I know it's like, honest to God, she was just amazingly stupid. She was so thick, it was a marvel. You know what I mean? They would write sonnets about it.
I have a magician of Marvel.
I think when I asked her out, it was very, very simple. I just went,
out.
No, because we've been talking a while, we're getting friendly. I said, look, I'd love to take you out this weekend. You know, wherever you want to go, cool with me, but I would love to take you out this weekend. What is it? And she was like, well, where would we go? And I'm like,
that's your fucking choice.
And the thing is, I went, wherever you want to go, I'll take you. Just name it.
Also, you have to take the weather with you.
And she was like, yeah.
It could be Rotterdam or anywhere.
But she was like,
Rotterdam is anywhere below.
But she was like, well, why do you want to take me out? I'm like, okay, because I like you. I think you're pretty cool. I'd love to take you out and spend more time with you. You know? Get to know you a bit more. And she was like, well, why do you want to get to know me? I'm like, okay. And I actually said, this is a date I'm asking you out on. I'm asking you out on a date.
To be fair, I've come to the understanding that a lot of British people are scared when you use that term because they don't actually know what the term is. It's quite an American thing.
She couldn't
It's a
understand.
dried up.
No, but the thing is, she couldn't understand it. And I know a lot of people go, maybe she was playing dumb because you're a cunt. I'm like, yeah, I'm a cunt, but I'm a suave one. But the fact is, I wasn't at the time. Now I am merely a shadow of, well, somebody else, I assume. But the fact is, we liked each other. It's just that she just couldn't comprehend the possibility of somebody asking her to do something which didn't involve a fucking nightclub and, boom, 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 blasting in your fucking ears the next day. I just want to take her out, go wherever she wanted. If she wanted to do that shit, she could do that shit, whatever. But
why didn't you just say?
Because she couldn't understand what I was asking.
Want to down for a meal?
No, but I never really said. Like I said, I'm saving you an hour of conversation here. Because she was too stupid to understand this.
Kissed her, dude.
No, I can't do that, dude. But we were just we're in that zone where you're maybe flirting on a bit, but you're not.
The signs.
She couldn't pick up a fucking signal if she had learned fucking Braille. She was just.
Barney kissed Marshall. Did he give him a sign?
No.
Excuse me. Am I Barney?
No, Ted.
I'm Barney.
But anyway, so getting away from all that, the question we asked last week, we didn't have any responses from the fans on this occasion, which is a shame. I was very sad, my friends. I will admit this. But
considering the amount of suits I own,
guys,
you dress like them.
So guys,
I can't be Ted then because Ted never suits up once.
Guys, the question was any fictional character you could go out on a date with. If you assume that you could score with them, great work. Who would it be? So I thought you got it. Adam was desperate to tell us the first week.
I switched back and forth in my head like 5 times, and I kept just wanting to go like, "Is this a good choice?" They wouldn't let me talk to them about it.
Okay, well you can talk about it now.
I'll let you go first.
Okay.
I'll let you go first.
Well, we're in a stalemate, sir, which means Stephen, your turn.
See, the thing is, for me, I should explain. For me, a date is simply just getting to know the person, right?
Okay.
Whatever happens. That's my kind of deal with a date. And out of everyone from the fictional universe, it wouldn't be anyone from Marvel because it's like if you think about it, it's like people like let's say Pepper Potts, beautiful lass. You can't compete with Iron Man.
Well.
No, well.
You can't compete with Iron Man.
Okay. So there's a lot of
I have a Hulk.
Yeah. For the DC universe, it's like, well, everyone's either taken or, well, because with me, I give a shit about that. Or they're just like, yeah, that's a bag of fucked up that I'm not touching. There's just so many fucked up individuals in that world. It's like unfucking believable. However, saying all that, sometimes you gotta. What the hell? Are you trying to work? No, it's not. It's not Satana.
Yeah.
Not Satana.
She's great.
I think she'd find me incredibly boring. No.
Is that where we were supposed to go? No, she wouldn't. We missed our chance, dude. Missed our chance.
Mr. Robo.
She come in, Mr. Bombastic, very fantastic. She took me on me bums, she come in, Mr. Romantic.
Oh, it's always a fun day when you're on #show.
It would actually be Diana. Wonder Woman.
What the fuck, dude?
She would break you.
She would.
It's a thing.
And her ex is Superman!
Oh!
In one reality.
In the main reality!
What's the main reality, really?
Is this the real life? Or is this fantasy?
Because, again, it's
caught
like...
in a landslide.
You're off, Kate, shut up.
If there's one thing that she likes, if there's one thing that she likes, it's someone that she can't quite work out. I don't think she.
Gosh, yeah, that'll make sense with you, dude.
Yeah.
Shut up.
So I would, and plus, I would love to get to know the other side of her. Not the underside of the clothes side, but that too. But more of the, because the thing is, the greatest warriors have a calm in their minds.
I know,
and that's what allows us to strategize. And I would love to get to know that part. But what about you, Geek?
What about you, Funk?
What about you, Geek?
What about you, Funk?
What about you, Geek?
Completely forgot about this question. What about you, Funk?
Okay.
I'm currently thinking.
Flavour of the moment, what shall we say? Don't say pussy, for the love of God.
Strawberry ice cream.
Moontime?
But flavour of the moment, like if you had to pick like right now, it may not be again.
They're all standing in front of you in a procession, waiting for your choice.
Okay, let's say it was just going to be for tonight's sake. You weren't exclusive, it's a date, for fuck's sake.
Let me think.
So, just out of the top of your head, as opposed to the top of your foot.
Tip of my penis, mate, actually, I have a better idea.
Technically, wouldn't that make it your daughter?
What?
If it came from the tip of your penis.
The fault.
Well, I said top of your head, and you just said top of your penis. So it's like, if she came from the top of your penis.
Well, she usually comes, that's usually where they come.
No, it's not where she comes, no.
I come from
I think you've misunderstood, that's where you come. I think you've misunderstood biology.
No, trust me, she comes on the top of the penis.
We're getting your words mixed up, sir. What it sounds like you're saying is not what you're saying.
I said a heaven to the heaven is up. No.
Who the fuck do you want to date? For crying out loud.
Somebody out there.
Okay, fictional from the fictional universe.
Somebody in real life. that would help me greatly.
You've dated.
I have, yeah. But I'm now single again. Yes, that's right, ladies. I'm single. Oh, is that no cue? Okay.
Do you want me to take it from here, Geek?
Yes.
Okay.
For the love of God.
I deliberated for a while. I eventually settled on Raven.
Wow, that's a bag of fuck.
Yeah, it's mainly for the fact that I kind of noticing everyone else. I was kind of like, she's the only one I would actually want to talk to. Because here's the thing. Staying within Teen Titans only lasts a Starfire, and I imagine I would want to kill her after about 5 minutes.
Starfire I think I would get on with. It's just that my problem is I wouldn't be able to get past the childlike thing.
Yeah.
Kinky!
Here's the thing.
Again, are you talking Teen Titans or comic?
Teen Titans.
Go!
Yeah.
Because here's the thing.
With
wandering around just like, look, it is Friend Beast. It's called a pigeon.
Yeah, because that's what I get. But the Raven, that one's easy to get on with.
Yeah.
You know,
It's still a bag of fucked up.
It's not a complete bag of fucked up, but
So
I think you're not a complete bag of fucked up. You're a complete bag of you ain't ready for this.
I'm a half a bag of fucked up.
That didn't sound quite white, which is surprising.
You ain't ready for this, man. Ain't only time for that.
You're ready for none of this.
No.
You're always a bad man. Sorry.
But what-
No flashbacks.
I'm a bad man.
Big geek.
Stop it,
Big geek.
man.
You cramping me for. That needs to go on a shirt.
How did you design our shirts?
Yes! I designed all the shirt. I'm trying to.
I need to send you the shout PNGs.
I need to send you love in an envelope.
What? Anthrax.
New 52 Babblr Gordon.
Nice.
Oh, good
Good that
God.
you walk again, yeah?
Yeah.
Sweet.
She'll need the abilities for her legs.
Okay then. Well, I think that'll wrap it up for this week's episode.
Sorry, what was the question for next week again?
Who do we want to play the Doctor?
Who do you want to play the Doctor?
Or who would get you back into watching the Doctor?
I still do watch it.
Yeah, but if you don't watch the Doctor, who would have to play the Doctor to get you interested?
Okay.
For this week, that'll do.
Morgan Freeman.
That'll do for us. So it is goodbye from Adam.
I'm the Doctor.
It is goodbye from me.
Goodbye from Geek.
It is goodbye from Geek.
It's goodbye from Geek. It's goodbye from me. It's goodbye from Geek. And goodbye from me.
It's goodbye from me. Thank you very much, guys, for tuning in, and we will see you next week on the weekly debates.
On a longer episode. We will make them longer and longer still.
Well, this episode's coming up to the 1 hour and 35-minute mark.
Suck it, Wolverine.
Actually, no, it might be a little bit longer given the title
cool
sequence.
Okay.
But anyway, so we'll see you next week on hashtag or as Geek simply knows it as
You stay classy, San Diego.
Shut
Bye, guys.
Love you.
Let's stop.
Love you.